Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're celebrating the 40-year anniversary of Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes.
A very important film, nostalgic to you.
Yes.
All right, so when we get started, I just want to ask, did you grow up with Pee-wee, like the character, the show, or just the movie?
So I've never actually seen the show. I grew up with the movie.
I believe it's called Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my grandma liked Pee-wee because she liked the show that Pee-wee was based on.
Okay.
So.
The one that you showed me in the 1950s. What was it called?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just lost it. Hang on. Pinky Lee.
Pinky Lee.
So, the Pinky Lee show, my grandma really liked. It was a show from the 50s. And
show a little bit here. When
he created Pee Wee Herman, it reminded her of the Pinky Lee show. I think Pinky Lee is kind of creepy, but...
Is it just because it's like 1950s circus?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, clowns.
We bring you the Pinky Lee Show with a circus full of clowns, acrobats, jugglers, animals, giggles, and games for everybody.
That him?
Yes.
That's Pinky Lee.
So, and I do recall listening to Rubens talk about the inspiration behind Pee-wee, because he just kind of like created Pee-wee one day and was like, hey, I have this new character. And it became such a big persona that there was almost a struggle to separate Pee-wee from Peter.
Right.
And he based him largely off Pinky Lee, and then I think there was also 2 or 3 comedians that he based, like, created Pee-wee from, but, like, the aesthetic was definitely based off of Pinky Lee with, like, the suit and the little bow tie, kind of like the formal wear.
Mm-hmm.
And the jokes about the formal wear, so, like, he's always in his little suit and bow tie. He jumps into the bathtub in his suit and bow tie. He rolls on the ground in his suit and bow tie. So, like, that stems from the Pinky Lee.
Oh, okay.
But, so my grandma actually had me watch Pee-wee. And I think at the time, I think I did see Pee-wee's Big Adventure first.
Okay.
He's such a goofy character.
August 27th, Tim Burton, Elizabeth Daily, Paul Rubin, 1985. Yep, so this is the 40-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Was this Paul Rubin's breakout role? Let's see.
I'm not sure.
What is your filmography, Paul Rubens?
I know that, like, a large percentage of his, like, persona has been Pee-wee related. Like,
Who was he in Matilda?
He was one of the detectives.
Okay.
So, like, he's had other small roles and stuff like that, but for the most part, even, like, a lot of his filmography is Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Of, like, he shows up as Pee-wee.
Pee-wee Herman Show, 1981. Looks like that's the earliest of these, because Pee-wee's Playhouse started in 1986. Pee-wee's Adventure was 85. Oh, wow, so Pee-wee's Big Adventure was before Pee-wee's Playhouse, but after the Pee-wee Herman Show. Interesting. Then we have Pee-wee's Big Holiday, which is 2016. Big Top Pee-wee, 1988. Pee-wee's Christmas, 1988 as well. The Pee-wee Herman Show on Broadway, 2011.
But I always just really loved, like, the character.
Okay.
And it's funny because there was a point in time in my own life, like, that it was almost embarrassing to have liked Pee-wee because I very much related to his emotional state. As a kid, where, like, I always had these big feelings and big emotions, and I, like, express them as such. Like, when I was happy, I was really freaking happy.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't contain my joy.
He's very much a crank it up to 11 character.
Yeah. And it's like, that's how I was as a child. But then, like, you kind of grow up a little bit and you learn that, like, it's not, at least it wasn't considered socially acceptable at the time to express outwardly such intense emotions. It became weird. It was like, wow, you're kind of odd, aren't you? Or like, oh, wow, you're really excited about that, aren't you? So it kind of became embarrassing of like, wow, why can't Pee-wee tone it down? And like, now that I'm an adult and I'm back to like, when I'm really happy, you can tell I'm really freaking happy.
Yeah.
And when I'm not, you can tell. Like, I'm not as embarrassed to express those emotions to the intensity that I feel them.
Okay.
And it just makes me love him all that much more, like, as a character, because he's so goofy and weird, but he has, like, dreams and he has things that he wants to do as a character, and you can see that a lot in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You can see the innocence of it, but there's also so much that shows, like, he is an adult. You know, he's not a little kid. He's not supposed to be portrayed as a little kid. Like, he drives a car. He rides a motorcycle. He owns a home. You know, he pays for things. He has money. He has moments where he doesn't have money and has to work off the fact that he doesn't have money. So, like, there are still adult aspects that really show he's an adult, but with that childlike scope in front of it, which I really love, because that's kind of where I feel I'm at in life.
Okay.
Especially now, is like, as a kid, you don't have your own money, and you're like, man, I would love to have that, but I'm just a kid, and I have no money, and I am small. And it's like, now you're an adult, and you're told, like, it's weird if you want those things, or you shouldn't want those things. And it's like, fuck you, I'm an adult now, and I can buy the R2-D2 trash can if I want it. Like,
you always go for that R2-D2 trash can. Do you really want an R2-D2 trash can?
I would not say no. He's just very expensive. At least the one I saw, when I saw it, he was really expensive.
You always bring it up when talk about
it's the easiest
goofy
example.
things that it's just like, screw you, I have my own money, I want the R2-D2 trash can. I'm like, she's dropping hints, ain't she? This is like the 6th time she's mentioned that damn trash can.
No, it's just the easiest example, but it's kind of like how I have spoons that are cats.
Yeah.
They have cat faces and cat ears, and like the handle is a paw. Like, that is considered a childish thing.
Right.
You know, like if we get towels and they have, you know, a character embroidered on them or funny sayings embroidered on them, that's considered a childish thing.
Okay.
Like the fact that we might get something and it doesn't fit the quote unquote decor, like it's considered a childish thing. And it's like, but who cares? Like, A, it's not your house, mind your business.
Right.
And B, like, who's to say that we can't fulfill those childish desires into adulthood?
Exactly.
And I think Pee-wee really embodies that, of like, he is a very much a childish guy.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing wrong with that. You can see that in the movie when he's at the magic shop and like, he is having a grand old time.
Yeah.
Looking at all the stuff. You know, the owner of the shop is having a grand old time being with him in that relationship, but then you have the lady that kind of like gives him weird looks.
Yeah, it's interesting
and he
how
doesn't care.
Split down the middle he is perceived by the general public. Yeah. There's people that's just like, oh, Pee-wee, how's it going? And others like, oh, Pee-wee.
But it's like, in my
Frickin'
life,
Pee-wee.
so like today is my birthday.
Yes.
So I share the anniversary with Pee-wee. Big part of growing up was Pee-wee Herman, and I get it. Like, I get it. When you have a personality like Pee-wee, where you feel everything very intensely with extreme emotions, and you're weird, and you don't necessarily care what everyone else thinks, and you are genuinely 100% yourself.
Yep.
That's going to attract the people that can accept that, even while rejecting the people that can't accept that. So it's like the people that love Pee-wee, because you can see a grand scope of different types of people that like him. You have your shop owners, you have like the bikers at the bar end up loving him. And it's because he's genuinely himself. And that's what happens when you're genuinely yourself.
Yeah.
You tend to attract people that like the genuineness.
Yeah.
And then for the people that don't like Pee-wee are going to be people that either there's something in themselves that they can't do or won't do because it's considered unacceptable, so they're not being their most genuine self.
Right.
And you can see that a lot even in society. When you're going out and about in society and you see people behaving weird, things that are considered weird to you, and it's frustrating or it's annoying, and for whatever reason you're just annoyed by it. If you think deeper, why am I annoyed by it?
Yeah.
Well, because when I behaved like that in public, I got in trouble. Or when I did that once, I got made fun of. And it's always something in yourself, not necessarily that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a black and white thing. There are sometimes people do shit in public that is really annoying, and they shouldn't be doing it in public for no other reason than they really shouldn't be doing it in public. Oh, this scared me so bad, that whole scene.
Large Marge.
As a kid, Large Marge. But I love that. I love that you have this whole cast of people that either love Pee-wee because they know him, or they kind of see him being himself, and they're like, you know what, we like this guy. And that's like the bikers in the bar. You know, they're ready to kill him. Like, they're literally talking about, like, let's kill him, let's hang him,
it's not just for how he looks, like he botches their shit.
Oh, yeah. It's for no other reason than
he's a bit of a menace.
He knocks their motorcycles over.
Yeah.
Like, you go to a motorcycle gang and you knock their motorcycles over, they're gonna kill you.
So he walks in to use the phone, and he goes, shush! And they're just like, who the hell do you think you are?
This is a
Strike
private
one.
club. Yeah.
So they're like, get out. He gets out, and he knocks over all their bikes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him. So there is this fine line between, like, he brings it upon himself, and he's an oddball, so
absolutely.
He kind of attracts it. It depends on the situation. Like, there's
and I think that's a lot of what makes it his innocence, the innocence of it. Just like the whole reason he's on this adventure is he loses his bike.
Yeah.
His bicycle gets stolen. And he goes to a psychic medium.
Yep.
And it's despite what anybody's personal views are on, like, psychics and mediums and tarot readers and crystal ball, people, the way that it's directed, Tim Burton does such a great job with the direction and the, like, hinting at things without having to outright say what's going on.
Right.
So when you look at the psychic medium, when he goes in, you have, like, the crystal ball, you have, like, tarot, palm reading, and then directly in the middle, tax returns. So, like, you can tell that this isn't going to be a legitimate psychic medium. Like, their main source of income is going to be people going to have their taxes done. So he goes in and, she's giving him, like, the price list and things like that. And she takes his wallet. He has all of the pictures in his wallet are of him and his bike.
Yeah.
So it's not too difficult to see why he's upset, why he's there. So you kind of have, like, this gullibleness of, like, yeah, a lot of the things he puts on himself, but it's also in large part due to him being gullible. He gets picked up by an escaped convict. You see the broken handcuffs on this convict, and he still gets in the car. He still befriends him. Like, there's no judgment from Pee-wee. He's just like, what are you in for? What'd you do? And it's like, I think the way that people respond to him with, like, the sincerity of seeing him almost in a childlike view of, like, this convict goes to start talking about how he's, like, murdered people. And then he sees Pee-wee and is like, I can't scar this guy. Like, so he gives him some, like, watered down version of what he did. And I think that's his entire persona. People see him and it's like, despite a lot of things we see in society, I think there is a very strong urge from a lot of people, especially people that have kind of been through it, to protect the innocence of people that they see and meet when they can see that they're an innocent person. Like, you've been through it, and then you see someone that hasn't been through it, and you're like, you don't want to go through it.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't want you to have to deal with what I dealt with. And I love that representation in this movie, but I think the direction really was just phenomenally done. Just
Well, we have a stacked cast here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny how much of the movie is just like introducing a character, do a bit, and then they're gone. So you're able to have like a large variety of like wacky characters.
Yeah.
Like the fortune teller, she's only in like 6 minutes of the movie.
Oh, not even.
And then we're moving on to the next bit. So we have Paul Rubin as Pee-wee. Phil Hartman did the screenplay, and he's one of the reporters in the movie. But Phil Hartman, I don't know what you know him for, but he was like a big-time comedian and writer in the likes of like Jingle All the Way, Small Soldiers.
Okay.
A big part of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
He's in Kiki's Delivery Service. He's part of The Simpsons.
So I would probably know him from like
Toaster.
The Simpsons,
Yeah.
Kiki, like the kid stuff, because I'm a child.
He was friends with John Lovitz. Let's see. Phil Hartman. Who was Phil Hartman in The Simpsons?
But yeah, I think it's just like the direction pulls it all together. Because when you try to explain this movie to anyone, it just does not sound like it should work. It sounds like
Right.
it would be just a really odd movie. Not that it isn't an odd movie, but if you're like, yeah, this adult man who's like a flamboyant oddball gets his bicycle stolen
Yep.
and goes on an adventure from California to the Alamo,
Yep.
where a psychic told him his bike was, and he's running into a ghost and a convict and almost gets his ass beat by a giant farmer, and then he, rides a bull, and
Yep.
it just, you'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what are you talking about? But then you watch it and you're like, no, it makes sense. Like, this series of events actually would happen to this character. Like, no doubt in my mind.
Okay, hold on. So, Mickey, the convict, was played by Judd Omen. I was reading the credits, and I saw who I swear is Josh Brolin's father. I thought he played the convict, but I guess he doesn't. James Brolin. Who's James Brolin? Oh, he played the actor who portrayed Pee-wee in the movie at the end.
Yes.
That's Josh Brolin's father.
Which is also hilarious, because towards the end of the movie, Pee-wee finds his bike on the set of the Warner Brothers, like, studio sets.
Uh-huh. And
he steals it off the set, and he just creates complete chaos all throughout Warner Brothers Studios. And,
What? Agimonius. Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from the incident when my wife shot me in the face.
What?
Is that a line from the movie, Troy McClure?
I don't recall that.
Hold on, wait. Troy McClure. Oh!
From The Simpsons.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, yep. That's Phil Hartman's character from The Simpsons. Troy
I can
McClure.
appreciate that.
Okay.
I love The Simpsons.
Simpsons are great.
But
So
yeah,
back to
like,
Pee-wee.
I don't know. I think that really, as much as I love Pee Wee Herman as a character, I think for this particular movie, the real star is in the direction.
Yeah.
And just like the little nuances that, even as a child, I wouldn't have been able to describe it,
Well,
but I
hold on.
understood.
Where was this
it.
in Tim Burton's filmography? Because this was before Batman. I
Well,
think this
he's
was
young.
before.
Yeah, he was a young director at the time.
Tim Burton filmography is what I want to look up here, and we're gonna look at the movies. So like, Nightmare
it's
Before
way
Christmas was
down there.
1993. Was this like one of his first movies?
So it was after, looks like after Batman,
Batman was 89.
Batman Forever.
Forever wasn't even that was 1995. Wait a minute. Tim Burton, he got kicked out of Batman Forever.
Even if he got kicked off of it, he would still be credited for whatever he did.
Okay. No, but Batman Forever is the third Batman movie.
But yeah, so like he was still looks like a pretty young director. Like he has some stuff under his belt at that time.
Yeah, this was
but
one
not,
of his early ones.
Yeah. But I mean, even in the very beginning, like the movie opens up, you're at the Tour de France, and you see all of these bicyclists like their helmets are very aerodynamic. The way that they're riding, they all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all wearing the same type of costume. So like in this, if we were in reality, it would be like a uniform. They were all wearing like the same type of uniform. And you see the billboard of the Tour de France, and even like the bicyclists on the billboard all have that same form. So like as a child, you're picking up, okay, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That is what they should look like. And then you have Pee-wee on this like tricked out bike in his little suit and bow tie, just like happy as pie, wrong form, just like literally winning the Tour de France. And you're just like, what? So it just kind of goes to show like the direction, those tiny little nuances that a child can pick up on.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of, those things around Pee-wee that kind of really enhance his character,
Mm-hmm.
I think were just so well done.
You want to know my favorite scene? Well, definitely the first one where I was just like, this is why I like the character, and this definitely emphasizes Pee-wee.
Mm-hmm.
His breakfast.
Oh my god, I love it.
The whole, like, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't want to show the ad. I don't know how it goes with, like, I didn't approve of this ad.
I know. We do not. We're not sponsored by Planet Fitness. If you've seen me, you know.
Okay. So, it reminds me, did you ever see Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the opening of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when, like, he's inventing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of whimsy that really is the heart of Pee Wee Herman's character.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to blaze through this real quick.
Well, because you even see, like...
And Danny Elfman is killing it with this score.
Yeah. Well, because you can even see it, like, I love, even before that, when he wakes up, and you see him go down the pole in his PJs and, like, drop out in his suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so funny. Like, it's just so nuanced. It's phenomenal.
And they're able to just squeeze so much into this movie. There's spooky scenes, there's funny scenes. There's the scene where he's a little unhinged.
Oh my
like,
god, I love that.
He's
They're in his basement.
Yes.
Like talking about his bike, and he goes, Exhibit A, and then like there's kind of like a time lapse moment, and he's like, Exhibit Q, and people are just
behold, a model of the city.
I know. It just is so funny. It's so funny, and you can just really tell his state of mind. It's, I feel like, so well acted and so well like directed and filmed. Just
the more
like,
I see this movie, the more I do enjoy it.
It just,
even having not grown up with it. This is, I believe, the third time I've seen it, and I'm just like, I'm on board with Pee-wee.
I mean, I watch it every couple of, I don't want to say months because it's not really months, but like,
you try to make it like a yearly thing.
I watch it every year, definitely.
Yeah.
And I love that every time I watch it, I see something different and something new. Like, there are little things that I, like, didn't notice before. And even the more that I learn about film and direction, which is something that I never really learned before or thought of before in any practical manner, the more I can appreciate a movie like this.
Now, when you were watching it, you told me that this character creeped you out more than Pee-wee. Why is it? Like the pointed hook nose, or what is it about Francis?
Like, I think what it was, like, thinking on it, because I had that moment too. I'm like, why did he always, and I'm sorry, I know you hate it, but why did he give me the ick and Pee-wee didn't?
Okay.
And it's just like, I think it's because Pee-wee presents as a child. So when he acts like a child, it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be that way. This dude presents like a man.
Yeah.
And then acts like a child.
The child, yeah.
And it just,
he's the inverse of Pee-wee.
And it's supposed to
because he's the antagonist.
It's supposed to make you feel gross and uncomfortable. That's the whole character. Like, he's a gross guy.
Yep.
Like, you know, but it just, as a child, I was just like, ew, you know. And even as an adult, I'm like, ugh, like, it's just so gross for me to watch him behave like a child because he doesn't present as a child like Pee-wee.
He was in The Naked Gun.
Who was he in The Naked Gun?
We're about to find out. This was a stacked cast as well. Let's see if I can find him.
I'm so excited.
Oh, he's just a spectator. Okay. Alrighty then. Back to Mark Holton. Yeah, I don't really know any other movies he was... Okay, A League of Their Own. I've seen that before. Little Giants, okay. He was in the Sonic movie? He was in Tarzan?
But yeah,
I guess just
it's just
ADR,
just
additional
there.
voices.
Yeah.
I guess that's the same with Sonic.
I don't
He's
know.
just an ADR guy.
I feel like he was a really well casted villain because he really does make you just like, ooh, like,
Yeah.
you know, just feel gross, and that's the whole point.
Yep.
You know, that's the whole point of that character. I do have to say one thing that I didn't think was super funny when I was a kid, and I think it's just I didn't have the appreciation for it yet. The music in the bathtub scene.
Okay.
So whenever when Francis goes under the water.
Oh my gosh,
and
it's so funny.
Pee-wee steps in with
Yep.
his shoes and suit on, and the music lines up, and Francis starts screaming.
Uh-huh.
I think that's so funny now because I have the appreciation for like the music.
Yeah.
And it was just such a well-filmed scene of like and it does give you that childlike mentality from Francis's point of view. I don't know if you've ever did this, but I definitely did this well into like when I probably should have stopped. Of like the mentality, if I can't see you, you can't see me, so you're not real.
Ah.
It's the whole concept of like if I'm in my bed and I'm scared, I go under the covers. I like, you know, pull the covers up, and that way no one can get me, no one can hurt me. It's like that comfort feeling. And that's what Francis does. Like Pee-wee's in the bathroom now while he's in the tub. And he goes under the water, because if I can't see you, you can't see me, and I'm safe now. But then Pee-wee goes into the water, and it disrupts that comfort. And it just, the way it was filmed was so funny. And the fact that the whole time Pee-wee's still in his suit and his bow tie
Yes, I love
was
that.
just so funny.
The best part is Francis hiding underwater, and Pee-wee just steps in with his suit, and Francis goes,
I know, it was just so well filmed. It was hilarious.
I have one relatively
Just the
big
timing.
complaint
The timing is
that
just
honestly, I don't know if it's a joke that I just don't find funny or if I just don't get. And I was going to ask you if you've seen like Pee-wee's Playhouse or something. What is with the hostility towards Dottie?
I don't think it's supposed to be read as hostility.
But like he's super nice to like a lot of characters with the exception of Francis, and then he's standoffish with Dottie.
It's not.
And I don't get
So
that.
so I don't think it's supposed to necessarily read as hostility.
But by the way, that's E.G. Daily. You know her as the voice of Tommy from the Rugrats.
Okay. I feel like if I listened, I would get that. I think, keep in mind, when you were like a younger boy, so before puberty, before like when you have this childlike whimsy, how did you feel about girls? Especially, how did you feel about girls that showed an interest romantically to you?
Okay.
Ew, gross.
I suppose.
So that's, I feel like, what they're going for with the idea of Dottie is like, hey, Pee-wee, like, I want to go to the movies with you. I want to go on a date with you. I really like you. And he's just like, ew.
Yeah. Like, I got my own thing.
That's what they're going for. It's just like the childlikeness of Pee-wee that he's not interested in girls. Like, he's like, I'm just a little kid. I'm not interested in girls. And
why does he have better chemistry, at least to me, with Simone then?
Because she wasn't a romantic interest.
Okay.
That was the whole comedy behind why Andy was trying to beat him. Because there was no romance there.
Yeah.
It was basically Pee-wee went to this diner, got dinner, and then realized he didn't have his wallet.
Yep.
He left his wallet with the psychic.
Yeah.
So he had to work off in the kitchen the cost of his meal. So Dottie was the waitress. And it's like, if you're...
Simone.
Dottie's...
Dottie's
at the bike shop.
She works at the bike shop, yep.
But no, Simone, like, when you're in that type of situation, they're going to talk to you. Yeah. Like, that's a normal thing that anyone would do, is to have a conversation. So, it goes into, again, like, you can't help but not like Pee-wee.
Yeah, she's only
like, you can't help but love him. So, they get talking, and then he's like, okay, I gotta get going. And she's like, well, before you go, watch the sunrise with me. she's a lonely girl. Like,
Yeah.
she's a lonely woman because she's in an abusive relationship with somebody that is overbearing, that is really, really jealous, so she probably doesn't have any friends.
Right.
And then you have somebody like Pee-wee. So if you're a person that has no friends and no relationships other than your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you find someone like Pee-wee that you're just insta-friends with,
Okay.
you're not going to really want them to go away because it's a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that when they're talking about their dreams.
Yeah.
Of like, well, you know, Simone, you have to like follow your dreams. No one is going to dream for you. Like, you have to do it. You have to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a really mature moment for Pee-wee.
Yeah.
And the whole thing that makes it funny is that it's a friendship.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get like, oh, there's a romance there. That she's in love with.
He doesn't
Pee-wee.
even treat Dottie as a good friend, though. He's always just kind of like, eh. Like, get to the point when she talks to him.
I don't think so. I think at the end, especially after he apologizes to her for like...
Okay.
Because he's like, you know, I'm really sorry for how I treated you. And then she's like, about that, you can pay me back by going on a date. And he's like, I don't want to go on a date with you. Like, because he is still that, like, picture of quote-unquote innocence.
Yeah.
But then he does end up going to the movies with her when, you know, at the end, whenever they come out with Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie.
Yes.
And, so I don't think that it's supposed to be like he doesn't like her, he has beef with her. I think that's supposed to be like the idea of like he's a child character played by a man.
Yeah.
So young boys have no interest in girls.
Yeah. Okay.
The only time he's not super like dismissive of her is when they're not talking about them going on a date.
Okay.
Like when they're talking about his bike, he is present, you know.
Yeah.
But she clearly is interested romantically in him.
Yeah.
Which is very common with kids because girls mentally mature faster than boys do.
It's just rough. Right at the end, she
Yeah.
brings his bike, and he's like, yeah! And she goes for a hug and completely misreads the situation.
So I think it's supposed to read into, like, she likes him, but he doesn't like her like that because he doesn't like people like that.
Right.
Because in our eyes, he's supposed to be just a kid.
Gotcha. Alright. So, how would we rank this movie? Like, where would...
Oh, this is a part of the family.
This is a part of the family for you?
I have this on DVD. I watch it every year. Like...
Ooh,
and I know that is almost entirely nostalgia for me. It does take me back to, like, sitting in the sitting room with my grandma crocheting and eating eggs on toast and watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And, you know, it's like that cozy time in my life where, like, I was safe and warm and, like, things weren't wrong.
Right.
You know, that's one thing. Like, I had a complicated relationship with my grandmother, but it was something that we bonded a lot over was movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a very big movie watcher,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird for you because you'll be like, oh, well, they were in this, and this movie. And I'm like, oh, I didn't see them. And you're just like, how? How have you not seen these movies? And then I'm like thinking about it, and a lot of the movies that I have seen or that I watch regularly are movies that I watched with my grandma.
Oh, okay.
Because she was a big movie buff. Like, she loved movies, and she loved film and all different kinds of movies. So most of my introduction to different films were through her. Of, like, she is how I became interested in Mel Brooks. She loved Mel Brooks. So, like,
Good taste.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
My favorite movie I watched because of my grandma. Like, Dead and Loving It, I watched because of her.
Okay.
You know, a lot of my favorite movies. She wasn't big on Disney. I watched Disney because my mom, you know, we were children, and what do you have children watch? You have them watch Disney.
Yeah.
But, like, when I consider something not necessarily for children, but, like, an actual movie that, like, anyone could watch, I watched it from my grandma.
Okay. So, if we go to Metacritic, it is a movie that unfortunately isn't viewed highly by critics, but the fans, it's generally favorable.
Yeah, tend to love
They
it.
see it like a 7 out of 10, which is kind of where I would put it.
Yeah.
A 7 out of 10. That's where it is in my heart. I
I
am
love
curious.
White Snake's in it. That's so funny to me.
What was that?
I love that White Snake's in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just funny, the White Snake reference.
There's a lot of cameos in this movie.
I feel like Pee-wee falls into this genre, and I don't know how to put it, and I'm sure that you or somebody else would be able to explain it.
Favorably on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because this is such a feel-good movie. Like, how do you hate Pee-wee Herman?
88% by critics, 79% by the audience.
But Pee-wee, I feel like, is one of those movies where, like, you could ask big-name people to make a cameo and they would do it just because. Just because it was Pee-wee. So, and I'm trying to think of, like, movies that are like that now. The way that I think of it is, like, how Keanu Reeves, like, appeared in SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a weird thing, but, like, he'd do it.
Yeah.
Just because, why not? Like, it's just such a weird thing. I know it happens a lot with, like viral B movies like Sharknado. They got a lot of celebrities to make an appearance in Sharknado 2 and etc. Just because, like, hey, you want to have, like, a 1 minute, you know, appearance in Sharknado, and people are like, yeah, fucking why not? I think that's how it went with Pee-wee.
Okay.
Like, I think that's why it's such a stacked cast, because it's just like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, like, some of them it's like, was the acting good? No. Like, the whole scene with, in the Alamo, like, the group, the tour group, it's not, like, wonderfully acted. It was quite awkward, actually. Mm-hmm. But it was still just, like, a joy to watch, because you see Pee-wee getting agitated. Like, that's what you're watching, not necessarily the group of people. Right. But it was still, like, you have some faces that you can recognize in that group of popular people, and you're just like, oh, hey, that's that person from this movie that I like. Like, oh, man, they're just a no one in the group at the Alamo. Like, sure, why not?
Who did the other movies? Pee-wee's Big Top. Have you seen any of the other movies?
I have.
Randall Klessler.
But this one has always been my favorite.
Oh, wow, the director of Grease. And one of the White Fangs. I don't know, there's a million of them. Cool.
And I'm
Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
I was speculating...
John Lee. That sounds familiar.
So I was speculating last night, why is this one my favorite? Because I was thinking, like, oh man, what are we going to talk about on the stream tomorrow? Like, you know, what should we focus on? Yada, yada, yada.
I would like to read some reviews when you're done expressing.
Trying to get my ducks in a row here. But I was trying to speculate, why is this one my favorite? Mm-hmm. And I think it is in large part due to the direction. Just because, like,
you are a fan of Tim Burton.
I grew up on Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've watched many movies he's directed that I've been like, wow, this is trash. Like, I like his... I'm sure they're out there, but I've always really liked his style.
Yeah, there's a couple for me where I'm just like, I am not feeling this style right now.
And it's so funny because I never thought before meeting you that I cared much about, like, direction and production and that type of thing. I was like, it's either a good movie or it's not.
Right.
And then I started to, like, see more and understand more. Like, yeah, those movies aren't really my thing. Or, like, I don't really like that movie. And then it's like, oh, they were all directed by the same person. Uh-huh. Maybe you don't like that director.
Right.
And it's like, oh, shit, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's also like, oh, yeah, I love that movie. Oh, yeah, I love those movies. Oh, that one's one of my favorite movies. And it's like, oh, they all have the same director. Yep. Maybe you like the director. And so I think that plays a big part in understanding that I just really like Tim Burton and his work. And there are very few Tim Burton movies that I've been like, wow, I hate this, if any. So I think that's why this one was my favorite, is definitely...
I love this little fun
fact.
Kind
of the direction.
So, hold on, let me fix this up. Pee-wee's bike is at the Alamo, but not where you think. And this was as of July 21st, 2025. So this is
just
recent.
A couple days ago.
Yep, just a couple days ago. It's not in the basement. The Alamo announced last week it had acquired and would display the iconic bike from the 1985 Tim Burton film, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. San Antonio Landmark plays a key role in the film, chronicling Pee Wee Herman's search for his stolen bicycle when a devious fortune teller tells him the bike is located in the Alamo's basement. Pee Wee, played by the late Paul Reubens, learns the Alamo doesn't have a basement, but it hasn't stopped tourists from tongue-in-cheek inquiries. So
I love
red
that
and
the
white
most
bike,
common question is, where's the basement?
Yep. Is adorned with streamers on the handlebars. It was acquired from an auction in Los Angeles. It will serve as a centerpiece in the Mays Family Legacy Gallery, which examines the Alamo's cultural impact. Part of a new visitor center and museum slated to open in fall of 2027.
I love that, yeah.
It will join the other pop culture items, including memorabilia from the 1960 movie about the Alamo that starred John Wayne. So there you go.
Could you imagine being a fan of John Wayne and you walk in and see that flamboyant bicycle and be like, the fuck is that?
It's Pee Wee Herman, damn it.
You uncultured swine.
Yeah. All right, so now for some fun, we're going to read some good and bad reviews from both critics and audiences,
Oh, boy.
and then kind of give our thoughts. See, like, agree, disagree, or be like, that's an opinion. All right. So, Megan Fisher from Loud and Clear Reviews from Rotten Tomatoes says, with Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Tim Burton arrives on the filmmaking scene fully formed with a ghoulishly whimsical visual style and instinct for offbeat comedy.
Yeah, that's the point.
All right. Here is a top critic Washington Post who gave it a rotten.
Ew.
And he, Paul Atanasio, says, Pee-wee's Big Adventure isn't a movie, but a collection of found objects from the garbage heap of low culture.
Ew. Clearly, you just don't understand. You're allowed to be wrong.
All
That's
right.
fine.
Peter Canavis from Groucho Reviews says a purely creative movie that one must admit has no equal in cinema history, for better or for worse.
I can agree with that, yeah.
It's uniquely its own, which I do agree.
Yeah.
It's so its own
you
thing.
can't pit it against something
Yeah.
else. Like,
It's not like The Wizard of Oz or The Lord of the Rings or Pulp Fiction
No.
or any of that.
it is its own thing.
It
for
is
sure.
very much its own thing, and if you're on board with that, I think you will like the movie more. But if it's not your thing, you're not going to gel with this movie.
Yeah.
Film 4 says it's surreal, funny, clever, and disarming in equal measures. Going over to Metacritic, we're going to read the audience reviews. Here's someone who gives this a 10. Like, this is one of their favorite movies of all time. And it reads... I'm going to put the microphone. This is the stuff that classics are made of. The kind of film that's so offbeat, unexpected, kitschy, okay, and contentedly niched, that one can't help but wonder how a major studio gave it the green light. Paul Reubens lives and breathes this role. Literally, he's credited the role of Pee-wee as himself. And he couldn't have asked for a better dance partner than the similarly quirky, fringe-dwelling director Tim Burton in his first major picture. There you go.
Oh, wow,
that was his
okay.
first major motion picture.
Wow.
Reubens is genuinely larger than life in this loose collection of vignettes and skits, and the whole mess is tied together with all the care and subtlety of a spaceship made of duct tape and cardboard. Even when he's not making a direct footprint on the screen, Pee-wee's influence oozes from every frame, coding everything from the scenery to the wardrobe to the manic, impulsive style of shooting. It's a perfect interpretation of the character's then famous stage show, an ideal introduction for the unfamiliar masses, and a natural launchpad to...
It's like start out.
Yeah, I guess it's a curse word. I'll grant that it's not for everyone, but for those of us with an appreciation for drag queens, John Walters, the B-52s, and 60s housewife chic, it's a direct hit. Pee-wee represents that rare crossroads where unbridled mayhem, conscience-free good times, and hysterical laughter collide in a loud, twisted, dirty ball of pandemonium. I think it's safe to say that this one can never be replicated, and I'm both overjoyed and deflated to realize it.
Yeah.
That's a passionate fella right
Yeah.
there.
But see,
Dark
though,
Shadow.
I think it's also just well thought out. It's understanding that it's not supposed to be brought up against serious movies. And I mean that with the deepest respects. Like, it's not something that you can bring up against, like, something strictly comedy or something strictly for children or something strictly adventure. Like, it takes the little tiny pieces of all of it.
Yeah.
And it just uses it the way it wants to. It breaks a lot of rules. It breaks a lot of standards that are in, like, the industry. And I think that it does it with a smile. And you can't help but enjoy it. Like, even if you think it's trashy or low class or poorly filmed, like, it's just so much fun to watch. And you can see how much fun Pee-wee's having.
Yeah.
And
it's infectious. It really is.
Yeah, even, like, when he's laughing, you kind of have that moment of, like, the cringiness, but then you're just like, he's just having so much fun, you can't be mad.
Yeah.
Like...
Here's another 10 review. A fantastic movie that wastes no time with the laughs and getting right into the plot. Within 15 minutes, you're into the plot proper and ready to go on a spectacular journey with Pee-wee to find his beloved bicycle. With superb and stylish direction by Tim Burton and an excellent soundtrack by Danny Elfman to complement things further, you're in for a great time. That's a simple one. Can't really argue with that either.
Yeah.
Now here's someone that doesn't like the movie. Gave it a 3. I'm not a fan of Burton because he has these great characters and ideas, but he uses them in such an uninspiring fashion that the movie becomes painfully boring. I never laughed while watching this movie. I'm gonna agree to disagree there.
Yeah.
I really thought it was funny. And
see, and it's like, but reviews like that, I can't be mad. I can't be mad at that person for not liking Tim Burton's direction. Just because I love it, he's one of my favorites, doesn't mean that I feel like that person isn't justified. Because it's the same as, like, people that are like, they love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They love Spider-Man. And I'm just like, I hate Raimi's direction. I don't like Sam Raimi's movies. And it's because of that, I didn't like the Spider-Man movies. And I thought, well, maybe I just don't like Spider-Man. And then a new director took Spider-Man. I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm like, oh, maybe I just don't
like Sam Raimi.
Maybe I just don't like that director. And so I can't be mad. I can't be mad at that person if that's not the type of humor they have. Humor is a very subjective thing. And if you don't find, like, the two heavy beats of music as Pee-wee stomps his fully suited shoes and into the bathtub, then you don't find that funny. And it's like, I feel sorry for you because I find that fucking hilarious. And I would be curious to see what they do think is funny.
Yeah.
Like, do they need somebody to hold their hand with the jokes, or can they kind of make the joke themselves? Because I feel like with Tim Burton, a lot of the time, you have to fill in the blanks. Like, you have to be able to pick it up and understand it to find it funny. And if you can't do that, of course, you're not going to think it's funny.
I'd say I agree with this one. Zilcell, who says, I find it so funny. This movie has a different style compared to most comedies. Overall, the story here is thin ice, but the humor is great. Like, it's a simple story. It is what it is. Guy loses his bike and is going to find the bike, and he doesn't really meet a cast of deep characters, but colorful characters that help make the journey memorable.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like where I fit in, to where it's just like, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I don't have nostalgic with it, and I don't think it's really deep or anything to, like, really munch into.
Well, and that's why, again, I say, like, I rate it so highly, and I'm saying, like, 90% of it is nostalgia because it takes me back to that place.
All right, so TV Guide magazine gave it an 88. Inspired lunacy. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of the most inventive films in recent memory. This clever and wholly original work incorporates a wide variety of cinematic tools with a fresh and unique sense of style. Boston Globe gave it a 75. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is a shrewdly observed, deftly executed Looney Tune.
Ew.
Kind of felt like a backhanded compliment there.
Yeah.
Now, as we go a little down, 70 by the Chicago Reader. With all these safety features built in, this 1985 film is too well padded to qualify as a genuinely radical wit. But in an even-toned TV sort of way, it's mildly amusing and inventive throughout. Now we're going to go a little even deeper. Variety gave it a 60. Children should love the film, and adults will be dismayed by the light brushstrokes with which Paul Rubens, one of the credited screenwriters, but star-billed under his stage name Pee-wee Herman, suggests touches of Buster Keaton and Eddie Cantor.
Those are I believe, the two comedians that he... Maybe let me look that up.
How come these are 10s, but they're in the bad? Like, Wall Street Journal says, the movie has a cartoonish realism of a Muppet movie. However, Mr. Herman is no Kermit the Frog, although he made me feel like Oscar the Grouch.
See, to me, I can't...
Some of these do sound like, I'm an old man and I don't like this stuff.
Well, it's like, again, so, because that's a 10, because they rated it 10 out of 100.
Okay.
So, but you have something
like... Oh, I get it now. Okay.
So you have something like that, and it's like, but of what substance? What does that mean? Because you also have people, like, have you ever watched Sesame Street, sir? Oscar the Grouch is a fucking riot.
Julie Salomon.
So it's like, you know, of what substance do you have? Like, yeah, like, there's no substance in these reviews. So, like, I'm not going to take anything they have to say seriously because there's no substance in them. Why? What makes you think that it's not deserving of a higher ranking? Or what makes you think it's not funny? Give me more. Like, not just, it was bad. Like, okay, so's your breath. I don't know. Like...
Alright. Did you know that when Pee-wee's bike was stolen, Jupiter was aligned with Pluto? After a 3-hour-long emergency town meeting, now we all know. I just revisited this classic from the 80s. Now a bit dated, the film still works due to numerous laugh-out-loud moments in the first hour. For the remaining 30 minutes, a young Tim Burton seems to be throwing antics at the wall, hoping something will stick. At the end of the day, I believe you got to see this at least once. And I'm quite certain most people my age have indeed done so. Rest in peace to Paul Rubens. You created one heck of a memorable character. Rob A., an audience member, gave it a 3 out of 5.
I can't actively find. He based Pee-wee off of the type of humor Pee-wee does off of 2 different comedians.
There's a big one. I think it's sometimes easy to be snobbish when you're reviewing movies. Sure, I like art house films and foreign films and depressing documentaries, but a good movie is a good movie, and this is a great movie. Fun, inventive, and imaginative. 35 years later, it still retains the magic of what makes going to the movies such an enduring legacy. Has there ever been a movie with such a gallery of supporting characters who are on screen for brief moments, but remain in our minds and hearts decades later, which is what I brought up earlier?
Yeah.
My personal favorite is the late, great Jan Hooks as Tina, the Alamo tour guide. But take your pick. If this isn't Tim Burton's best film, it certainly belongs among the upper echelon of his achievements. There are individual scenes, too numerous to mention, that remain as fresh in my mind today as when I saw it in theaters in 1985. This is a movie that is probably way too easy to dismiss, but in my mind creates a world as eccentric and memorable as Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. God bless Pee-wee Herman, and God bless the crazy minds that came up with this wholly original character and practically perfect movie that still resonates with me to this day in a way few other movies have done. I called it a classic, and it said, I know you are, but what am I?
I think that's the best one so far.
Okay, a couple people actually do not like the movie because of Paul Rubens himself.
Which is frustrating but understandable. He does have some blemishes that I feel are unfair.
But I could see how that would
how it would
dismiss a viewer.
Dissuade
Yeah.
people from enjoying his work.
Well, final thoughts. What do we think of Pee-wee's Big Adventure to wrap it all up?
I mean, it's one of my favorite movies. It's, I think, a big player in how I developed my own sense of humor and the things that I find funny. Mm-hmm. And I think that I can relate to Pee-wee on like a personal level, internally, especially when I was a kid. So I think that it was kind of, I think Pee-wee is a staple for eccentric adults that allow them to be eccentric. Like, he obviously is an adult that takes care of himself, that he feeds himself breakfast, and who gives a shit if he talks to his breakfast and makes the pancake talk back. Like, it's none of your business. You know, let him be weird and let him have his fun. He's not hurting anybody, and I think that's something that I would like to get back to and live by, and just be my weird eccentric self, and who cares. So I would really love to watch that. It's on HBO, and we don't have HBO.
Yeah, it's on HBO. I was curious about it because there was a Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to double check where it was.
Yeah,
Pee Wee as Himself is the name of the documentary.
But yeah, I love Paul Reubens. I think that what happened to him was unfair.
Okay.
And I think that it was blown out of proportion to a point that it impacted his career negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering things that are happening in today's world with today's celebrities that people overlook, and then you hear what happened to him and it just feels really unfair. I don't think that it should have impacted his career the way that it did. And if you don't know what happened
When did
to
that
him,
happen?
you can
In like the
you can look it up.
mid-2000s?
I think so.
Okay.
You know, you can look up what happened to him on your own. It was, again, I feel over-exaggerated to a point of
You view it as more of a
damage.
damn shame.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that without all of the facts, it sounds really bad. And then you look up the entire situation and you're just like, yeah, like it wasn't out in public in front of a school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was in a facility that is designed for things as such. And I think that it was people that didn't like him and didn't like what he does,
Looking for
a
thing to
reason to
stick
not
to
like
him.
him more.
Yeah, that happens.
But, you know, Paul Reubens is an adult. He was an adult. He was not actually Pee Wee Herman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was a real live person with real life responsibilities and a life outside of Pee Wee, and I don't think people like that. So, I really love Pee Wee Herman. I still love Pee Wee Herman today.
I enjoy the
and-
movie. It's the first time I saw it, I was just like, 5 out of 10. Moving along. Second
Yeah.
time I saw it, which was the first time I saw it with you, bumped up to like a 6. Now it sits at a
Yeah.
7. Who knows?
Yeah.
It'll keep.
And it's like,
moving
you
on
know,
up.
it's not for everybody, and that's okay. Like, if it's not your type of humor or your type of enjoyment, then, you know, I hope you find something that is, and just respect that for a lot of people, this is their type of movie.
Yeah.
You know, this is what they enjoy watching. It doesn't have to be deep. I don't have to sit there with my brain turned on
Yeah,
the
there's
whole
no, like,
time.
deep
Like,
lore.
I don't have to think too hard. I can just literally watch and enjoy the movie. And sometimes that's what a person may need, you know, where you don't have to think about it too much or put too much effort into understanding the meaning behind everything, or, you know, trying to figure out the plot.
Yeah.
You know, it just
So,
was enjoyable.
to bring back our rating system, I would call this a sleep at the foot of the bed. But for our viewers, I'd be like, it's worth a walk.
Yeah. For me, it's
Give
a part
it
of
a
the
walk.
family.
Yeah.
Like, I own it. You know, I
If
have
you
it
haven't
on DVD.
seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, check it out. You can rent it on Amazon Prime right now.
I think it's like $3.99.
Yes,
on Prime.
$3.99. And there's also that documentary on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So there we go. Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you next time.
Yes, we'll see you at the next stream.
Toodles!